Aurcana is scheduled to become the next mid-tier silver producer, and then in 2013 a major silver producer, and I'm going to explain how we're going to do that. This is our standard disclaimer format, and I encourage you to read it carefully because I may be making some forward-looking statements. The investment highlights of Aurcana is that we have the highest growth profile of any of our peers. We produced a record production of 1.7 million ounces of silver equivalent at La Negra mine in Mexico last year. We completed a second consecutive expansion, and today we have installed capacity at La Negra of 2,500 tons per day. We commissioned the new expansion about April 1st, and as of today, La Negra is already running at a rate of about 2.5 million ounces equivalent. Out of those, 4,000 ounces are being produced every day. The next event really is the major event is the Shafter primary silver mine, second largest primary silver mine in the U.S., 14th largest in the world. We started the plant on February of 2011. We finished in 13 months and commissioned it as well the same day on April 1st. We did that 2 full months ahead of schedule, $1 million on the budget. According to the feasibility study, we are scheduled to produce 3.8 million ounces of silver, pure silver, in the next 12 months after we declare commercial production, which is not very far from now. This amount of silver is very significant. It's about 14% of the silver produced in the U.S. Both projects have a very significant exploration upside, and I will be making some releases on June 1st, the day that we are going to be having our grand opening at Shafter. And we believe that we have a more attractive valuation than yesterday, and that we have a considerable re-rating potential due to this growth profile. We've been one of the few companies that have been outperforming the market, and until about a few days ago, we were about 30% above the beginning of the year. We're still above water, probably around 20% as of today. Since the third quarter of 2009, we have increased 3 times by a multiple of factor of 3 our sales and a factor of 7 our EBITDAs. That speaks about the efficiency of our operations. Our 2 projects, Shafter is in Texas, about 10 miles north of the town of Ojinaga in Mexico, and La Negra, which we used to own 80% of that mine. Now we own it 99.9% at no cost to the company. Some of those that are not familiar with the history of the company, I will state that I have become the CEO of the company since May of 2009. At that point in time, our market cap was $8 million. Our share price was 8 cents. As of last week, probably that had been a multiple of 12 times, increasing on our share price. And our market cap was fully diluted, close to $500 million. Now we're around 400 million. So it's still about 50 times what we were when I took over as CEO of the company. Some of the significant achievements was that we are the only company that has managed to buy back the silver stream agreement that we had for La Negra. And we bought it at our own cost. We bought it from our friends from Silver Wheaton, and we're very pleased that we did. Of course, they became one of our shareholders. They own 10 million shares of that private placement that we did. And also, we are one of the few companies that has managed to raise $100 million in the last 12 months under very challenging conditions. $100 million is a big absolute number, but it's more impressive on a relative basis because it was more than 3 times our market cap at the time. Our management has proven that they can deliver the goods, and that they can increase shareholder value very significantly. We also have in our board Ken Collison, who was the former Chief Operating Officer of Thompson Creek Mines, Paul Matisik, who's been the CEO of Energy Metals and of Potash One. Both have been sold for, the first one for $1.5 billion and the other one for about $500 million. Significantly, Dr. Peter McGow, who is credited with the most important recent silver discoveries in Mexico and probably in the world, founder of Mag Silver, is our technical advisor, and he is guiding our exploration programs both at Shafter and La Negra. Most of the discoveries that we've done on La Negra is with our own geologists, mining engineers, because it's an underground mine. However, we have started also a surface exploration program, which we will release some information on it in the future, and it's very positive on both properties. La Negra, we acquired La Negra from Peñoles when they thought the mine was dying, with about 1 million tons of resources. We have mined 1.7 million tons in about 3 years, and compliant and non-compliant resources, we have over 3 million tons. 86% of what we mined last year was in non-compliant resources. So we just found it and mined them and cash them on. However, we're going to be making now a new resource estimate. We expect to double those resources in a couple of weeks from now. We will do another resource upgrade before the end of the year, and we expect to have the same impact on the northwest trend. Around this area is what we're going to be certifying by the end of the year. The silver grades are much higher. Here's about 120 grams. We've historically mined at about 80 grams per ton. We have increased our margins 10%. We reported that last year. Decreased our cost 9%, and increasing our production from 1,000 tons when I started to about 2,500 tons per day. What we're going to be certifying now in a couple of weeks comes from the deepest part of the mine at the 1950 level. Our haulage level is at 2,000 level. So you can see that all these ore bodies which are open at depth are above that haulage level. So we gravity fed them. This ore body, Valenciana, the exploration that we did over there gave us a bunch of grab samples at 400 grams per ton. So we're going to be mining, exploring from here all the way to the surface, and of course these are open at depth. The largest ore body, La Negra, is 400 meters tall and 60 meters in diameter. So you can easily fit the Empire State Building inside that ore body. Excuse me, you were?
That's the one that people can see on the
Okay, sorry. Okay. So that you have an idea of this mine, we're not chasing veins. These are carbonate replacement deposits. This type of deposit constitute the backbone of the silver lead zinc industry in Mexico, and both La Negra and Shafter are carbonate replacement deposits. So this is a bench about 10 meters wide, 33 feet wide, and those small lights are miners. We have 70 kilometers of underground development. We haul 20-ton trucks inside the tunnel and take them to the mill, which is about 900 meters away. As I was mentioning, we've been mining at a rate of 79 grams, and now we are currently doing at about 86 grams. So we're going to have a double whammy, to put it that way, of increased production, increased grades, and of course, that will diminish our cost per ton as well for the second occasion. La Negra was exploited by Peñoles. They discovered 23 ore bodies. We have identified another 5 ore bodies, and we are getting excellent results from our exploration, both underground as well as at surface, and we will be releasing some of that information to the general public in the near future. Now turning up to Shafter. Shafter is a very significant asset for Aurcana. Is second largest primary silver mine in the U.S. In the first 12 months of operation should produce about 3.8 million ounces. We are proud to announce that we have now completed the mill. We are already at the block 3 ore body, which it's 2 to 4 times larger than what we expected, and that's the good news. The bad news is that we have to go now around this ore body, much larger ore body, so that we can mine it properly on a sub-level basis. But it's a good problem to have. This is a high-grade silver mine too. It produced 36 million ounces of silver at 15 ounces per ton. We are going to be producing at a rate of grade of 8 to 10 ounces in this mine. Our cash cost, everything included at Shafter, will be at $9.25. We acquired from Silver Standard at a cost of $43 million, put into operation for $47 million. That's a total of $90 million. The first 12 months, you expect cash flows from Shafter of about $100 million. So it's a very good payback. This is the global standing of the primary silver mines in the world. And as you can see, Shafter is here, and only Greens Creek from Hecla is larger than Aurcana's. Once we increase production at Shafter, which, by the way, we already have the installed capacity to do it, we're going to be mining at 1,500 tons per day this year, at 2,500 tons per day next year. So this year we should produce 3.8 million ounces. Next year about 6 million ounces. 6 million ounces is about 20% of the production of the total U.S. marketplace. This is the long section of Shafter, and you can see the decline, which we're going to be mining this block 3, which I already indicated is bigger than we expected. We had to do a drill hole here to verify the geological model. We found out that this ore body was 100 feet longer and that continued at depth. So this is not empty, but should be really red. And once we went really underground, because we're already here, we found out that we made another drill hole, and this ore body is about 40 meters thicker than we thought. So as I was mentioning, this is a very good problem to have. We eventually will going to be using as well the Shafter the Goldfields shaft that was put by Goldfields, and then we can increase easily production from the 1,500 tons per day to about 2,500 tons per day, which is the plan for next year. This chart shows that we own everything that's in dark gray, and in Texas, when you own your surface rights, you don't even need a permit to start drilling, which we are already doing. We have 4 drill rigs now in place, and they're actively drilling both underground as well as above ground. So this production is going to allow us to surpass the production of all of our peers. Although this graph only shows 1.7 million ounces of production, which is what we produced last year at Negra, and we cannot do any forecast because we do not have a technical report. However, and this is not a forecast but an extrapolation of our current production, we're already doing about 2.5. So if you do 2.5 and 3.8, that'll give us about 6.2. Let me tell you that these 2 big bars are really not as big. Silver Corp is going to be producing about 6 million ounces just of silver. The rest are gold credits. And the First Majestic Zone guidance for 2012 is about 7.5 million ounces. So we're going to be about 10 to 15% below what they're going to be producing. Of course, the big difference is in the market caps, because these are billion dollar company and $1.5 billion company. Well, we're still about 400 million. We hope that will change in the near future. This is our illustrative EBITDAs, and although we cannot make projections, but an extrapolation would show that La Negra, that's what we made on La Negra last year. At the current rate of about 4,000 ounces of silver per day, we should be making around $35 million there, and about $100 million coming from Shafter. So we're going to be generating cash flows, very, very significant cash flows in the near future. So that's a story. You can see that we are definitely undervalued in the market, and we expect that to change. As I mentioned, Shafter is now a reality. This silver doré bar, which is for demo purposes only, was poured for me last week that I was at Shafter, and this has about 56 ounces of silver at 0.9 grade. So it is a reality, it's coming over, and we will be producing about 3.8 million ounces from Shafter, altogether about 6.2 in the next 12 months. Thank you for your attention. If there are any questions, I'll try to answer them. Yes?
What do you predict is the downside in silver? What do you predict is the downside in silver in a short-term or intermediate basis? And what do you believe that the upside is?
Well, I'm not in the business of forecasting silver prices. As someone said, look, my own outlook is that $25 to $30, it's a very good price for us. Our technical studies for Shafter were done at $15 silver, and our internal rate of return was 34%. At La Negra, we are decreasing our costs per ton consistently, and it's a very efficient operation. So even if prices collapse to $15 silver, we will be one of the survivors, and we can continue operating at much lesser profits, but that's really not keeping me awake at night.
That's very good news.
Well, it's the bad news that we can have for us.
How do you see your company growing over the next 3 years in terms of revenue and production?
Well, I already stated that we are going to become the next mid-tier silver producer. I explained how. It is very clear. Next step will be to 8 to 10 million ounces, and we can do that organically. I could even just sit in my office and we will reach to that. Of course, I'm not going to do that. It's just not in my genes. So we are already having plans of growing the company for the future on the 2013, 14, 15. It's already on the works.
Lenic, you mentioned that you had conducted some surface drilling on La Negra. Could you give us a sense of how many meters were drilled and the timing on when you expect it to translate into additions to resources?
The exploration program at La Negra is for 15,000 meters. All of it is underground. We have surface exploration going on right now with some geologists. You should know that we have 11 geologists at La Negra. Usually in Mexico, if you have 2 or 3, you're doing great. So we have 11. And the results that we have on the northwest trend at surface, and we still have to do some drilling, is for 400 grams per ton. So we feel that that Valenciana ore body that showed on northwest trend continues all the way another 200 meters to the surface, and probably also has another potential of about 400 to 600 meters down depth. All our ore bodies are open at depth. So those are part of the good news. The other good news are even best, but I cannot disclose them right now. Better.
I said it was good news.
Yeah, much better coming on. Well, there are no more questions. Let me just thank you for your attention.